So guys, in this video we are going to talk about this MSF Venom. In the older versions of this Metasploit, there is a MSF CLI, like it's a command line interface, but all those are removed, and then they have introduced this MSF Venom for all the command line purposes. So I will say MSF Venom -H for the manual or the usage of this MSF Venom. You can see there is an example. First, I will explain all the options you can use with MSF Venom. -L to list all the types of the modules available for us to use with MSF Venom, and -P to specify a payload we need to generate, and -F for format. The payload should be in which format, either in C format or any executable format or any ELF format, that is Linux executable, and so on. And -E for encoder. So this encoder will encode this payload and it will display the result. And you can see -A stands for architecture. We need to specify either 32-bit or 64-bit or Unix architecture or Solaris architecture, etc. And -O to specify the output file name, and -B to remove the bad characters. And we need to specify the bad characters with this B option to make sure that our payload is free of these bad characters. And -N for knobs. We can specify number of knobs to be prepended before this payload, and -S to set the length of this payload. So -I stands for iterations. These iterations are used by encoders. So this encoder will encode this payload these many times. So if I say -I iterate for 5 times, and this encoder will encode this payload 5 times. And -C to add some shellcode to include in our payload, and -X to generate the template. And you can also see the timeout here, and -H to show this message. Alright, this is like a brief introduction about these options we can use with the MSF Venom. Now what I will do is -all, and I will say I will say all, list every module that I can use with MSF Venom. So it will take some time. So there you go. Now I have all these modules I can use with MSF Venom. Now if you look at this last one, it is saying format. So when you can specify the format, and instead of this value we can type any of these values. We can produce the payload in the bash format and C variable format, and C# variable format, and hexadecimal format, and Java format, Perl, PowerShell, and Python, etc. You can also specify in the raw format, and Ruby, and shell script, and also Visual Basic. So these are all formats we can generate and we can append in our exploit. You can also specify this exe to generate an executable, Windows based executable. So these are the like programming languages specific formats, and we can also see framework executable formats. We can create a DLL file, ELF file, exe, and then we can also create the Java jar file, and so on. We can also create a Visual Basic executable as well, and we can also create this a Microsoft Web Service ASP as well. So these are the frameworks encryption formats, and we need to specify encrypt, and the value you need to pass are these four, any one of these four. You can see AES algorithm, base64, RC4 and XOR. And we can see framework architectures. We can specify these architectures to make sure that our payload will work on these architectures. So there are x86 32-bit, 64-bit and the Python architecture and the Ruby and so on. You can also create for the ARM architectures as well. Now here we can specify the platforms, like it's a in which operating system you can use, like in Apple, Android and Cisco and Firefox browser, Java, and you can see here the OS X, OpenBSD, Unix, Windows, etc. These are the platforms available, and for these platforms you can create the payload that will work on these platforms. And you can see the framework knobs. We have 10 knobs, and we can use these knobs to make sure that there are no null bytes before the shellcode. And you can see these are the encoders. You can see the encoder name and the rank and description. And you can see there is a rank, and you can see there are some PowerShell base64. This has the excellent rank, and Shikata Ganai, this has an excellent rank, and it's just polymorphic XOR ready to feedback encoder. So we can use this excellent rank encoders or even the great rank encoders. You can see the base64. So these encoders do a good job than low rank encoders. So we will also use these encoders to encode our payload. So you can see here these are the payloads available for Windows system and 64-bit and shell, bind TCP and so on, reverse TCP. So we have already discussed about this bind TCP and reverse TCP. Generally the bind TCP will run on this client side, and it will go on listening for any connections, and then we will connect to the victim machine. But in generally there will be a firewall rules or any IDS. In that cases we use the reverse shell. So we go on listening and the client gets connected back to us. So first we will discuss how to generate the payload using the MSF Venom. You need to type is MSF Venom. So let me clear the screen. MSF Venom -p, you need to specify the payload. Let me say bind Windows shell underscore bind underscore TCP, and we have specified the payload successfully. And what we have to do is we need to set some options for this payload. So this payload should require the IP address and the port number, so that when executed the socket program inside this payload will get written on this IP address and the port number. So we need to find out this IP address. Sorry, I think for reverse TCP we need to create this one. So generally we use the reverse TCP. So for reverse TCP we need to specify our IP address and the port number, that is lhost option localhost, and we need to say local port is equals to, let's say 1234. We can also specify 4444. If we do not specify L port option, this MSF Venom takes the port 4444 as the default. We have specified the L host and the L port. We need to specify the architecture, let's say 32-bit architecture, and then we will say format. I want in a C variable format, so that I can put in my C program script. So for the shell bind TCP we need to give the IP address of this victim machine and the port number to just bind on that machine. So we have got this payload. We can just paste it in our program, and we can see there are some null bytes. This is a /00 in hexadecimal /x00 represents the null byte. So how to remove this null byte? These are the bad characters, and we can remove the bad characters using this -b option. We need to specify what bad characters we need to remove. So as you can see now, there are no 00 bytes in our payload. So this is the basic reverse shell, reverse TCP shell, but this can be detectable easily by antiviruses. So that's why we can use the encoders. One thing you need to remember is your payload need not to bypass every antiviruses that are available, but your payload can bypass the antivirus that is using in an organization. Suppose if your organization or a company uses Kaspersky or any Avast, so you focus on particular payload building such that it will just bypass this Avast Kaspersky. So your organization uses Kaspersky, so why do you concentrate on any other antiviruses? So for the organization's perspective, while doing pen test, we just focus on this what antiviruses they are using. So in that way you can write a payload that will bypass only 2 or 3 antiviruses that are using in the organization. You no need to generate a universal bypass or antiviruses bypass payload. That's very tough to build, and you can now specify the encoder. I am using the Shikata Ganai, that is very good rated one. And I'm generating in the C format, but you can also use the exe format, and you can run in the Windows system. So my payload has been generated. Now this is in the C format, because you can see there is a character array, and the array contains our payload content. Let's go and create in exe format. Maybe I should give the output name. Okay, let's see without output name. So we have got some errors. So what the hell is this about? Okay, maybe I did anything wrong. Maybe I should just redirect this output to temp.exe. I think that will work. So I think the payload has been successfully created. Our exe file, let's say ls-ltr. So here is our temp.exe. So upon execution on the Windows system, maybe we get the reverse shell. So that's all about this MSF Venom, basics of this MSF Venom, guys. Generally we mainly use this MSF Venom to generate the payloads, and that is shellcode or any executables, and we specify the payload with the -p option, and we specify the properties or the some options we need to set for this payload. Those are lhost and the lport, which is our Kali Linux IP address machine, because we are making the reverse shell such that the client should connect back to us, and we are specifying the architecture as 32-bit, and we are removing the bad characters. Those are null bytes, and we are encoding with Shikata Ganai, encoder, and we are just outputting everything into the temp.exe. So that's all about this basics of MSF Venom. So in this is not everything about the MSF Venom. In the future videos, while we are practicing any vulnerable machines, then we will use this MSF Venom.